Gravity Falls is well regarded as having very few bad episodes across its 2-season run, with Roadside Attraction often being considered the worst episode of the series by fans and commonly skipped on rewatches. But this leaves an interesting question, that being, which episode is considered the best in the series? Many people point to episodes like Not What He Seems, A Tale of Two Stands, and Wordmageddon Part 3 as being the strongest the show has to offer. But I believe that Northwest Mansion Mystery is the best episode Alex Hirsch and the crew ever did, primarily due to the fact that they were able to fully redeem one of my favorite characters in the show, Pacifica Northwest. Hirsch has gone on record admitting that Pacifica was his least favorite character.
Pacifica was a character that, as I've described in other documentaries, I'm sorry to tell you this, Jackie, me and Michael Rianda, season 1, we thought Pacifica was the worst character.
I'm proud of that.
that we had ever come up with.
Pacifica spent the entirety of season 1 as an antagonist to the Pines twins, but never really tried to work against them in the same vein as Gideon. With her introduction episode just being a competition between her and Mabel, Irrational Treasure having her incite the twins' mission to uncover the Tremblay conspiracy, but never attempting to interfere with it, and Time Traveler's Pig, where she doesn't even realize that she is wronging Mabel by winning waddles from Farmer Sprout. Season 2 decides to do something interesting with her, first by giving her her first direct conflict with the Pines twins through the Gulf War, and allowing them to gain some sort of mutual respect, and then nailing in their new relationship, with Northwest Mansion Mystery, and the new dynamic between her and the Pines twins. Pacifica begins her growth through the show as a conceited, pretentious Valley Girl stereotype and serves as a natural foil to Mabel specifically. While she never has any actual conflict with Dipper, her rivalry with Mabel leads to him to develop a very antagonistic view of her. In Double Dipper, she is shown to be obsessed with winning and one-upping anyone who challenges her, such as when she bribed McGucket to help her win a popularity contest against Mabel. Her first real act of antagonism is during Irrational Treasure, where her insulting Mabel's sewiness is the driving action of the episode. While Mabel learns to simply not care about what she thinks, Dipper takes the opportunity to prove to her that her life is a lie and her family is a fraud, much to his pleasure and her disappointment. The trio don't meet up again until season 2 with the Gulf War, where she serves as a direct threat to the Pines twins for the first time in the series. The group eventually learns to band together to defeat their common enemy, and while still antagonistic, they at least conclude the episode with a slightly better relationship than when they began.
Yes! We did it!
Part of what makes this episode my favorite is how it handles Dipper and Pacifica's relationship, a pairing that the show had mostly neglected until that point. Immediately, Dipper refuses to help her out at all and only caves at the behest of his sister. To quickly run through the plot of the episode, the ghost is haunting Northwest Manor as a major party is about to unfold, and Preston Northwest, Pacifica's father, enlists Dipper to help deal with the ghost. It is revealed that the haunting could have been prevented if they had just let the townsfolk in, but due to not wanting to lose their pride, they refused and made Dipper do their dirty work. The ghost gets freed, and Pacifica lets in the townsfolk, ending the curse and gaining Dipper's respect. Throughout the episode, Pacifica is seen wearing red gloves, symbolizing the blood on her hands, both from lying to Dipper and from the reality of her family's history. The episode makes a point early on to highlight how Pacifica believes her family to be, with portraits on the walls showing their supposed good deeds over the decades. This portrayal is pretty starkly contrasted by everything that she and her family have done in the entirety of the show up to that point, including the previous parts of the episode. Preston choosing to Pavlov his kid with a bell is not the mark of a distinguished family, and only really serves to highlight how bad of a parent and a person he is. As the episode progresses, Dipper and Pacifica get more of a chance to talk and learn about each other, until they leave with a pretty positive opinion of each other. Pacifica's actions in the latter half of the episode, including going against the mental conditioning that she experienced over her life, demonstrates how she grows as a person. But there's more to her redemption than this. She embraces her rebellious side more, refusing to be like her parents and embracing the good side that Dipper and Mabel see in her, as can be seen by her willingness to ruin her parents' favorite carpet pattern later in the episode. What I like most about how the show chooses to redeem Pacifica is how real it feels. For most of the show, we view her as an annoying antagonist whose only motivation is humiliating the twins, and this is because that's all we get to see of her, which makes Dipper's initial reaction to her asking to help feel justified. Most of us would have a similar reaction if someone who's only ever caused us trouble shows up on our doorstep asking for help. When she ultimately decides to do the right thing, it comes after a lot of internal strife and the pressure of going against her family. Hirsch and the crew's work at humanizing her was amazing, and it's just one of the many reasons that people consider this show to be one of the best things produced by Disney television animation. Pacifica's growth continues after Northwest Mansion Mystery, with her next major appearance outside of the finale being in the Gravity Falls Lost Legends story Face It. The story strangely has her relapse on her family's history of lying, which leads to a demon stealing Mabel's face, forcing her and Dipper to go to Paranormal Black Market to steal it back from said demon, all while rushing to get to a photo shoot.
I couldn't make this up if I wanted to.
The story once again focuses on how Pacifica handles the immense pressure from her parents to be perfect, and how her rebelling against it helps her to be a better person. The story ends with her attending her family's photo shoot, covered in trash, happy with who she is and not caring about what her parents think with her. For a while, Pacifica, along with the rest of our characters, the story was done. But with the Easter egg websites, Shmebu Unlocked, and thisisnotawebsite.com, we get a big insight into her life after the series. According to a cipher on Shmebu Unlocked, she would go on to get a job at Greasy's Diner with Lazy Susan. What would be a pretty standard thing for most people is the ultimate act of rebellion and rejection of her parents' beliefs, as Preston considers interacting with normal people to be below them. Thisisnotawebsite.com contains a story that shows how she was given the option, heavily inspired by from Bill in her dreams, to get her revenge on the Pines twins for what she believed at the time to be them ruining her life. She ultimately chooses not to, realizing that returning to her old life would only make her miserable, and her experiences with the Pines twins were crucial to her becoming her own person and becoming a better person. As stated before, Northwest Mansion Mystery is my favorite episode, and during my rewatch of it, I noticed some details not explicitly related to Pacifica, such as the Chekhov's gun with the butler using the same lever to open the door at the beginning of the episode that Pacifica uses later on. There are also some other things that are strange to me, such as Nathaniel Northwest being the one to commission the mansion when he was just a waste-shoveling village idiot in reality, and probably was friends with a lot of lumber folk prior to him somehow being able to build the mansion. It was also a bit strange for Dipper to brush off McGucket at the end of the episode, as something of an apocalyptic magnitude seems like something that he would genuinely be worried about. Thanks for watching this video. If you want something similar, check out my other video on DuckTales and the importance of storytelling. If you liked it, please like it and subscribe, as that would help me out a lot. Thank you.